We are in a transition period today where incandescent lighting, which has been around for the last 140 years, is being reconsidered, let's say. It's not being phased out, but we are now considering using more, for example, compact fluorescents or even now LEDs or light-emitting diodes. Compact fluorescents can be dimmed, but not all of them have that capability. We're seeing more introductions of replacement compact fluorescent bulbs that you can put in your existing fixtures, but you have to look to see if it is dimmable. It has not been prevalent that many of them have been dimmable, but we're seeing more of these capabilities. So my guess would be that in the next probably 2 to 3 years, we're going to see more and more of the compact fluorescents. LEDs, for the most part, can all be dimmed, but you have to be very careful about the type of dimmer that you use. All dimmers don't necessarily work on all LEDs. So if you are going to dim an LED, you have to make sure that you check with the manufacturer, and they typically will recommend which type of dimmer works well with that product. In the case of a house that maybe has existing incandescents and you're looking to replace them with fluorescents, there are some benefits in some cases of keeping your incandescent lighting. For example, let's say that you have a very tall foyer and that happens to have incandescent fixtures currently. If you were to put a dimmer on that incandescent, it has some really interesting benefits, because for every 10% that you dim an incandescent light bulb, it doubles the life of the bulb. So if you have a very tall fixture and it's difficult to get to that fixture by just dimming it a little bit and keeping it dimmed, it can dramatically increase the life of the lamp. It also will reduce your electric costs, because for every percent that you dim, up to about 50 or 60%, you're reducing your electric usage by that same percentage. So what I tell people is that in situations like that, it's better sometimes to keep your incandescents, put a dimmer in that foyer. Now you have the capability of adjusting the light to create a mood. If you have a party, you're saving energy, you're extending the life of the lamp. So that's a very good example of just thinking a little bit out of the box in terms of where it is possible to put dimming. And my recommendation, typically, folks that maybe I'm working with doing a custom house, I would say, if you have a switch, you really ought to consider a dimmer, because ultimately it does let you have that incredible range of possibilities. And it just adds a great deal of greater comfort to your light when you can adjust the light level to exactly what you need. As you get perhaps more accustomed to using these dimmers, there are now more sophisticated systems that operate on a radio frequency, so that you can actually take your existing dimming locations, install these radio frequency controls, and you can do what I mentioned earlier, which is those whole house elements where the dimmers are literally talking to each other. So you can set up situations where you can maybe have a dimmer in your bedroom. You can hit a button and light a set of lights that go from the bedroom to the kitchen, say if you're wanting to get up in the middle of the night.